Good morning, and welcome to another judicious version of Diatribes from the voice of Doom. Now here's your jocular jackanapes voice of Doom. Alright, I didn't want to have to do one so soon, but things are cropping up which require my comment. And I even got a comment from one of my loyal fans, Mofo, about this subject when I was thinking about doing something about it already, so I think it's a sign I should say something. Couple of rulings and laws coming down in the last couple of days that has seemed to have stirred up the hornet's nest a bit. So let me start by reading from this thing. My handy-dandy little Constitution pocketbook. Okay, Amendment number 14, Section 3. No person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of president and vice president or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state, who have previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States or as a member of any state legislature or as an executive or judicial officer of any state to support the Constitution of the United States, shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. But Congress may, by a vote of 2/3 of each house, remove such disability. Okay. Now, if what we saw on January 6, 2021 was an insurrection, then I think that the person who is responsible for that insurrection should be charged to the full extent of the law for trying to overthrow the government. And that person's name is Nancy Pelosi, and her entourage and her henchmen and everyone involved with her plot. Because, as everyone knows who has anything at all in their cranial compartment, which are very few, Nancy Pelosi planned and executed the riots which took place in the Capitol on January 6th. Everybody knows it, that pays any attention to anything. Do I have to repeat myself over and over again? Orangey asked for protection of the Capitol. He knew, after all the fraud, lying, cheating, and out-and-out skullduggery of the D's, but both sides, but mostly the D's in cheating, because that's the only way they can win in the election, he knew there would be some civil unrest, some demonstration, some protest. We heard about all the fraud, and it's coming out now. Coming out now in all kinds of states where they found out there was fraud. But did Pelosi, who was in charge of Capitol security, have extra protection or security? No, she didn't. Did she put up fences like she put up fences around other things when she thought there might be a threat? No, she didn't. She wanted it to happen. She made it happen. It's very obvious. And the fact that people don't realize that, or they choose not to realize that, just shows how far gone we've gone. But this is a very good thing, because 2024 is coming around, and it's good to get the year off to a good start, because this entire planet will find out on January 4th of 2024 whether or not this Colorado ruling that Orangey cannot be on the ballot because he instigated an insurrection, according to Amendment 14. We'll find out if we even have ashes left to stamp on as far as being a country. Because if the Supremes do not unanimously reject the notion that someone who was not even charged with an offense can be summarily found guilty and kept off a ballot for an office in what used to be the United States, if they do not unanimously reject it, then we know we have no country at all, ever. We don't now, but we know that they're just stomping it out. They're just putting their heels on the last glowing embers of what used to be a democratic republic. So I don't see them doing that. That would be the sign to run amok. If on January 4th it is not overturned by the Supreme Court, then I personally give carte blanche to everyone in this country to do whatever the hell they want. Anything. Because there's no justice anymore. There's no rule of law. You can have a random court in any part of the United States, what used to be the United States, decide summarily that someone's guilty of something, whether they've been charged or not, and act on that. So we'll just see if that flies, but that's my 2 cents on the matter. Everyone's already said that. Nevada, which I live in, sadly, is one of the 13 states that are thinking about filing suit on the same basis if this Colorado thing holds. So I'm sad about that. We have pockets of idiots in major cities, 2 of them in Nevada, which think wrong. They don't know anything, and they're traitorous fools that want to see this, what used to be country, go down. So we got to do something about that. If it takes destroying Las Vegas once and for all, then so be it. But something's got to be done there. Now, Orangey was never charged with insurrection, even by this idiot Jack Smith, whatever the hell he is, fishing around. Show me the person, I'll give you the charges. I want to go after this person. No habeas corpus, no due process. I want this person. If I could bring this person down, I will be the hero. My face will be carved on Mount Rushmore. Should be carved, but not on Mount Rushmore. And I will be a hero, because I will have saved us from another 4 years of tyranny by Orangey, where everything was good. Can't have that. Now, another ruling came down. I mean, they're just getting fed up. The border's going totally... It's as bad as it's ever been. Everybody knows people are sneaking in right and left. Everybody knows the cartel controls the border. Everybody knows there's tens of thousands of people waiting in line to be processed in. Everybody knows they'll never be processed out. Nobody knows where they're going to work, where they're going to live, except that they'll get subsidies from my tax money and yours to help them to live in New York in a high-end apartment. So yeah, justice is there. Very fair. Extremely fair. Now, you can only squeeze so many people into an area willy-nilly with no rhyme or reason, who are all walking up in their flip-flops with their little knapsacks and their Slim Jims in their plastic bags, that have walked up from Guatemala and look fresh as a daisy. Somehow when they get to the border, they're skipping and then standing in line in the rain with their silver blankets on, looking all forlorn. You can only squeeze so many people in, and once it gets into the hundreds of thousands a day, it gets a little bit untenable, doesn't it? We can't handle this anymore. There's going to be so many more of them than us, that they will just simply use their power of being a huge throng to just burst through and do whatever they want. Take over the whole damn facility. Take over the ports of entry. You know, why not? 200,000 people there. They're going to just push the gates open, and the cartel will come in and send the border guards on their way and just sit at their desk and get on the phone and say, okay, it's all secure here. So Abbott, the Texas governor, made a law saying we are going to start arresting people who come in here illegally. They do not come in through the proper channels. They try to sneak in. Known gotaways aren't going to be gotten away, and they will be arrested. And that'll take effect in March. So we got 3 more months of more people coming in by the hundreds of thousands every month, along with terrorists and just people that don't have our best interests at heart. So 3 more months of that, and the D's, as usual, have taken the wrong side of everything. Yes, it is fine to bar Orangey from the ballots because he is an insurrectionist. I already told you he's not the insurrectionist. Pelosi is. If you're going to start barring people, bar her. And I mean behind bars. If you're going to bar people, bar AOC and bar the rest of them that aided and comforted and abetted the enemy during insurrections. Because 2020 riots were just as bad, if not worse, and way more destructive than January 6th. So they are aiding and abetting enemies. If you want to call anyone insurrectionists, you call Antifa and BLM insurrectionists. They burned down buildings. They killed people. They burned down police stations. They caused mayhem. They destroyed a lot of property and killed people. The only person killed in January 6th was Ashley Babbitt, who was killed by some trigger-happy Capitol Police guard. Police escort usher. Come on through, everybody. Come on through. Come on through so we can arrest you. So that whole thing was total entrapment, orchestrated by the worst entities in this universe. Take the whole universe, as big as it is, take the worst evil in that universe and manifest them into a human entity. And you have Pelosi, you have Skinbag, you have Lizard Man, you have Petri Dish, of course, Petri Dish's succubus wife, the queen of all succubi, former First Lady, and other henchmen and other ringleaders and puppet masters that are living on Martha's Vineyard. I don't know their names. I think they're people of color. I don't know. But I'll leave it there. I think I said enough. I think I told you enough about what's going on, and I think we're going to see some fur and feathers fly. But these Supremes better get it together. You have one or two people that say, I agree with these Colorado idiots. That just shows that there's dissent. That just shows that there's chinks in the armor. You can argue for the other side. No, you can't. You can't arbitrarily start a court in some idiot state and say, oh, this guy's guilty of this, so we saw it on TV, we saw the hearings. He's guilty of being an insurrectionist, trying to overthrow the government. So you can't vote for him in this state. So if that isn't overturned on January 4th, forget it. I'm going to go straight to Walmart. I'm going to take everything I want. I'm going to walk out with impunity, even though it's my own karma. But I may not do it, but, there won't be any law and order. So we'll see what happens after that. People will live by their own moral code. Should be interesting to see. All right, that's it. I said enough. That went by fast. All right, see you later.